Samantha Maiden breaks down the new poll figures. That's coming up in 3 minutes' time. But first, the tarmac collision between a Virgin and a Jetstar plane will likely result in more than $3 million of damage, but it could have been so much worse. Disaster was averted by a matter of centimetres, and we're joined by Steve Pavinas from the Australian Licensed Aircraft Engineers Association. Steve, how could this happen?
Apparently the aircraft's been pushed back a little bit earlier than it should have. The Jetstar aircraft wasn't quite fully docked in its bay, and the Virgin planes pushed back. The baggage handlers on pushback were not using a wing walker, which they should have from that bay, and subsequently the wing of the aircraft has clipped the APU compartment, and the rest is history.
What's a wing walker?
Well, what we really should have in place there is people walking out at the wing of the aircraft so that they can make sure that the wing area is clear. We've got this thing that all aircraft engineers will know about, which is wing growth, which is the optical illusion of the wingtip as it appears from the nose of the aircraft when it's pushing around a bend. And it's something that you need a lot of experience to understand, but unfortunately Virgin have decided they're going to use baggage handlers to carry out this task. In many cases they're transitional workers who don't have the same experience as someone who's been working on the tarmac for many years.
Okay, so I wonder if they're reviewing the money they've saved there now, because this is quite an expensive collision.
It's going to cost them upwards of $3 million, and what really disappoints me is I only got a letter from Virgin last Wednesday to say that they're going to reduce the number of engineers on the tarmac even further and hand more and more of this type of work to the baggage handling department.
All right, well, what could have happened here? Because, you know, it has been suggested that in just a few more centimetres and it could have been a serious problem.
Yeah, so what we've got the wing that's collided with the back of the aircraft at a component called the APU, the Auxiliary Power Unit. Now that's a small jet engine that generates power and air for the aircraft operations. If that wing had embedded itself a few feet further back into the aircraft in the APU and dislodged some of those very fast moving components, they could have been shed from the aircraft and thrown through the Virgin aircraft's wing, which contains obviously aircraft fuel.
Okay, so you've got, were there people on board at the time in both aircraft?
Look, our understanding is certainly there was people on board the Virgin aircraft, and at this stage for some reason it appears that the Jetstar aircraft was taxiing onto the bay, but it was empty at the time, waiting to pick up passengers, so that's what the reports are saying at the moment.
Okay, well, I guess your view is that you need these specialised or more experienced wing walkers, and the baggage handlers just don't cut it.
Well, look, the baggage handlers are very good at what they do, but they're undermanned, they're under-resourced, they're under-trained and they're inexperienced. We say that the aircraft engineers, and on that tarmac in Melbourne, the average guy's got over 20 years experience. These are the people that were doing this job 2 or 3 years ago. Virgin have transitioned away from that. Other airlines are trying to follow them in a race to the bottom, and we think at the end of the day it's only passenger safety that will be compromised.
No one wants that. Thank you very much, Steve Pavinas.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Thank you, Cam.